Good morning, children. Sairam. Children, before we start with new chapter number 6, I would like to give you few instructions. First, I would like to say that we have started 11th standard syllabus from chapter number 3. We have not yet done chapter number 1. Don't be get confused. Many students are asking me, ma'am, where are the notes of chapter number 1? So I'm again and again repeating, we have started with chapter number 3. After that we have done chapter 2. Now we are going to start with chapter 6. Okay, children? So sequence chapter 3, chapter 2, and after that chapter 6. Okay, so children, today we are going to start with chapter number 6, that is getting started with Python. This is the very first part. This is a very small chapter, children. See, we are having Python in 11th standard and in 12th standard both. So very slowly we go with the work. See, this is a very introductory part. Okay, after that, in the second part, what we are going to do, we are going to solve the backside question of this chapter. Okay, so very slow we are going to discuss about Python, children. We will not move very fast because this is very new to you, but in 9th and 10th standard also this Python was introduced to you, but it is not that much in brief. So in 11th and 12th standard we are going to learn whole Python near about each and every concept. Okay, so let's start what is there in this slide, in this video. Topics to be covered in this video. We are going to discuss about the introductory part of Python. Okay, then we are going to discuss about the features of Python, or we can say that advantages of Python, why we need to use Python. And in features and in recalling Python, in both we are going to discuss about the advantages of Python, children, basically, and what we have already know, we have already discussed in the 9th and 10th standard. We are going to discuss about that also. Okay, now in last we are going to discuss about Python minuses means disadvantages of Python. What are the disadvantages of Python? We are going to discuss about that. After that, we will end this video, and in the next part we are going to take the rest of the part. Only one or two topics left afterwards, and we are going to discuss about the exercises also. Okay, so let's start with the introduction. Computer program is a set of instruction that causes computer to perform some action. Children, from the smaller classes we are learning computer. Again and again we are saying one thing, that computer is a machine. Computer always follows instruction of human being. After that, computer can perform any kind of action. Okay, so computer programs are written in programming languages. Now computer is a machine. Okay, so how computer can take decision? Okay, by the human being instructions only computer can act. Okay, but how that communication can happen between computer and human being? So between computer and human being, programming languages are there. Okay, afterwards only computer can understand the human language, and afterwards computer language is understood by the human. Okay, so machine code converted into this high level language, and high level language convert into the machine code. Okay, now children, programming languages consist set of rules and regulations, keywords, identifiers, and other tools to let us write a computer program. Okay, see children, like English language, when we talk English, what we need to take care about? Grammar. Okay, we need to take care about the grammar factors. In the same manner, every languages has grammar which supports that language to learn. Okay, like without grammar you are not able to speak English properly. Only words you can take correct, but the formation of sentence should be correct, and without knowing grammar that is not possible. In the same manner, in computer field also, each and every language has sets of rules and regulation, or we can say that we are having few syntax also. Like in maths we are having formulas, in the same manner in computer languages we have syntax. Okay, now if you notice here, there are two words which are very much new to you, keywords and identifiers. About these two words we are going to talk in the chapter number 7. When this chapter get finished, we start chapter number 7. In that chapter we are going to discuss about keywords and identifiers. Now I am not explaining these two terms. Okay, now let's see what is there in the next slide. Now most of the programs are written in the English languages known as high level languages. High level languages, this HLL means high level languages. Okay, most of the programs are written in English languages. Like if anybody know English, he or she can easily understand any kind of language if that person is taking interest. Okay, because all languages are written in the English language. Now high level language converted into machine code with the help of the compiler and interpreter software. See children, two words are there, compiler and interpreter. Now interpreter and compiler both are checking the code, whatever code you have written in the computer, both are doing the same thing, but difference is here. Compiler, like let's imagine this is your code, whatever written in the slide is our code. Okay, or we can say that coding. So what compiler do, compiler read each and every line very carefully. After reading the whole coding, at the end compiler give the result and tell you what problems are there in the coding. Okay, at the end compiler will tell you. But in case of interpreter, it read one line, tells you mistake, then another line tells you mistake, then another line, in the same manner. Like after every line he comes up with mistakes and correction for you. Okay, we can say that compiler give the whole execution, whole problems at the end, and interpreter read line by line. Okay, this is the difference between these two terms, compiler or interpreter. So high level language converted into machine code with the help of compiler or interpreter software. So whatever you are writing in English, that is converted into the machine code with any kind of software, using whether it is a compiler or interpreter. It is then executed by the computer CPU to perform the desired task. Now you know that CPU is your brain. Okay, so for doing any action, CPU needs some instruction. So when this high level language, whatever instruction you have given in the English form, when it gets converted into machine code, CPU start working that time, because now CPU know what he has to do. So he start doing their desired task. Now what common high level languages are there with us? Python, C, C++, Java, PHP, VB, .NET, Scala, etc. So these are the high level languages which are there with us. Okay, now let's move to the next slide. See, Python programming language was developed by Guido van Rossum in February 1991. So who has discovered Python? Guido van Rossum. Okay children, let's move to the next slide. Next slide is about recalling Python. Now in recalling Python means whatever we have already learned in class 9th and 10th, we are going to discuss that, and we are going to discuss about the advantages of Python too. Okay children, now let's move to the next slide. Next slide is features of Python. Same thing, we can say that we are just recalling Python, we are seeing the advantages of Python. Though Python language came into being in early 90s, yet it is competing with ever popular languages such as C, C++, Java, etc. in the popularity index. Children, see, this you already know that in the 11th and 12th standard previously we were learning C++. Now Python is there. See, C, C++, Java is very much popular in the computer field, though Python has been introduced in early 90s, but still Python is competing with popular languages C and C++, Java, etc. because many features are there in the Python. We can say that Python is easy to learn and use as its code closely resembles the English language. See children, Python is compact and very easy to use. Okay, so the whatever we are learning, we are writing in the Python, it can be easily understood by us because we know English language. Okay children, that is why we can say that Python is easy to use. Now Python is an interpreter based language. Interpreter based language means every line by line code is going to be read by the Python compiler. Okay, so after every line Python gives you result whether that line is correct or not. Okay, now Python code can run equally well on different platform. It can be run very easily. Python can run equally as well as on variety of platforms children, like in Windows, in Linux, in Unix, in smartphones, etc. Isn't that amazing children? And that makes Python a true cross platform language, or in other words we can say that Python is a portable language. So with every platform Python is very much adjusting. Okay, now Python is free and open source language. Python is free and open source language means Python language is freely available along with its source code. Now source code means with the which code we have used for making Python, that is also freely available in the Python software, so you can easily download from the internet. And if you want to do any changes in the source code, that is also welcome. Now Python supports object oriented programming. See children, object oriented programming means, so we are having two types of programming. One is procedural programming and second is object oriented programming. Okay, so object oriented programming means it has some extra features also which C++ was having, but in C many features were absent. So that is a procedural language. Okay, so, but Python and C++ is object oriented programming, in that many features like data abstraction, data hiding, polymorphism, inheritance, many things are there. So these are the object oriented programming, C, Python and Java. Okay, now let's talk about next slide. What is there in the next slide? See, Python is expressive language. Python is expressive language. Python is expressive language, fewer lines of code and a simpler syntax. See, in the first advantage, what we have discussed that Python is compact, very easy to use. Okay, it is a object oriented language. It's very simple syntax rules. It is high level language, thus very programmer friendly. Okay, see children, now two sets of codes. This is codes, CODES. So two sets of codes are present in front of you in this slide. First in C++ and second in Python. Okay, see here, int a equal to 2, b equal to 2 and temp. So in this line three variables are there, 2, 3 and temp. All are belongs to integer family. So now this code belongs to swapping of two number, means initially a is having 2 value and B is having 3 value. So now temp is carrying, now A value means temp is having 2 value. Now A is having B value. A is equal to B means now A is having 3 value. Now what B is having? B is having temp value means 2. So basically what we have done, we have just swapped the values. Initially A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3. After completing the program, A is 3 and B is 2. Okay, now if you concentrate here, we have used 4 lines here. We have declared the variables also, but in Python only 2 lines codes are there. So we can say that with the help of Python we can express our program with the fewer lines. Okay, so that is why it is very much expressive. Same program is there. Now A and B are the 2 variables. Now this line is depicting that A is having 2 value and B is having 3 value. Now this next line is saying that whatever A value is having, it's now of B. Okay, so we can compare that in C++ we are using 4 lines and in Python we are using 2 lines. Okay, so in this way we can say that it is expressive, it is compact, easy to learn based on object oriented programming. Okay, now Python has large broad library, provide rich set of modules and function for rapid application development. Now like if we talk about C++, in C++ when we want to print anything, like in that we are using cout. Now for using cout also we have to introduce header files, because the C++ program compiler does not know the meaning of cout. When we use header file like iostream.h, afterwards only we can use this cout properly, otherwise that compiler gives us error. Okay children, but in Python we don't have such header files. Everything has built inside the mind of software of Python. Nothing should be externally added in the coding. We can start our coding directly. Okay children, now next feature is Python is case sensitive language. Case sensitive language means sum is in small letter, sum is in capital letter. Both meaning is sum, but for Python it is very much different. Okay, for Python small letter words are different and capital letter words are different. Okay, let me give you one example. If I'm saying that sum, this is in small letter, is equal to 9, and I am printing like this, print sum, means if I'm writing in capital, here Python gives error because this is written in the small letters and we are printing in the capital letter. For Python both are different, so Python will not print anything, it will give you error. Okay, and if we write sum like this with print function, so it will gives you output 9. Okay, now let's talk about Python some munices. Munices means disadvantages. Like human is having advantages and disadvantages too. In the same manner, Python is also having advantages and disadvantages. The first disadvantage is fastest language. Python is an interpreted language, not a fully compiled one. Means in Python Python software is reading each and every single line individually and responding us. It takes time. Okay, so fully compiled languages are faster than their interpreted counterparts. So Python offers faster development time, but execution times are not that fast compared to some compiled languages, children. So because of the interpreter behavior, we can say that Python is not a fastest language. Okay, now lesser libraries than C, Java and Perl. In the previous slide I told you that Python is having lots of library. We need not add external header files in Python, but Python offers library support for almost all computing program, but it is library still not competent with languages like C, Java, Perl, as they have larger collection available. Sometimes, in some cases, these languages offer better and multiple solutions than Python. Okay, now Python is not strong on type binding. Python interpreter is not very strong, children, on catching type mismatch issues. For example, if you declared a variable as integer but later store a string value in it, Python won't complain or pinpoint it. Like, I will give you one example here again of C++, children. See, if I'm declaring a int a, means a is an integer, a is having integer data type and we have to store only numbers in that. Now if I start giving a equal to a b c, I am giving characters to integer variable. So here C++ definitely give you error, but Python ignores such kind of things. For Python everything is okay. So we can say that not strong on type binding. If two different types of data types are working together and this such kind of mismatching is there, Python won't compare or pinpoint anything. Okay, now let's talk about the last disadvantage of Python: not easily convertible because of its lacks of syntax. Now Python is not have syntax, means proper formulas are not there in the Python. Python is an easy language to program in, but this advantage has a flip side too. It becomes a disadvantage when it comes to translating a program into another programming language. This is because most other languages have structured defined syntax. So many languages are having proper format of syntax, so Python is lacking in that. Because of this nature we can say that it is not easily convertible. Okay children, so with this I am ending this video, children. This is very much satisfactory that we have discussed advantages and disadvantages. Afterwards we will discuss the this chapter exercise in the next part, because this is very small chapter. Very soon we are going to start with chapter number 7. From that chapter actually we start programming. Okay, so thank you children, take care of yourself. Sai Ram.